I will speak today about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints as the only true and living church upon the face of the whole earth.
We declare without equivocation that God the Father and his Son, the Lord Jesus Christ, appeared in person to the boy Joseph Smith. When I was interviewed by Mike Wallace on the 60-Minute program, he asked me if I actually believed that. I replied, yes, sir. That's the miracle of it. This is the way I feel about it. Our whole strength rests on the validity of that vision. It either occurred or it did not occur. If it did not, then this work is a fraud. We do not accept the Athanasian Creed. We do not accept the Nicene Creed.
So plain and precious. Finally, the Book of Mormon is the keystone of testimony. Just as the arch crumbles if the keystone is removed, so does all the church stand or fall with the truthfulness of the Book of Mormon. The enemies of the church understand this clearly. This is why they go to such great lengths to disprove the Book of Mormon. For if it can be discredited, the prophet Joseph Smith goes with it. So does the claim to priesthood keys and the revelations and the restored church.
The prophet translated it less time than that. So don't be too proud of yourself. Quite miraculous, really, through the gift and power of God. We have a lot of suggestions about how it was done. We know that they had a table like this. We know they had the golden plates covered usually, and Joseph used these the Urim and Thummim seer stones in the hat, and it was easier for him to see the light when he'd take that position.
Travis Wayne Goodsell. I should be going to bed, finish up the series of Shaft for the weekend. But no, found another similar themed posting. Very frustrating to be the expert in the field, and in an age of social media, to be ignored. That people who don't know become popular spreading lies. That is a sad commentary of the world society, not just American society, not just Mormon society, or ex-Mormon, ex-faux-Pimo society. First one is from the Washington Examiner, claiming that the church has a new age of openness and transparency. There's some of that under Nelson when he publicly released the Church Handbook of Instructions. The church sued the Tanners for obtaining an online copy by another person who leaked it, and that person who leaked it didn't get sued, just the Tanners. This is how strict it used to be. And with the age of the internet and social media, that's what the Washington Examiner is quoting the church spokesperson about, is that the church can no longer hide. They can't cover things up anymore. The secrets are revealed on the rooftops, just like Isaiah prophesied of. Or was it Fahrenheit 451? If you've seen the original 60s version, not the Amazon reboot, you'll notice that the director takes you to the roofs of the houses with all the antennas. Brilliant scene. Similar to Alfred Hitchcock in Psycho. The shower scene. And so, Washington Examiner now, instead of I guess it was the New York Times that interviewed Alyssa Grenfell, now it's Jasmine Rapelye, and they spelled her name wrong. She doesn't have an E at the end, apparently. Her own site has no E. And so that's why I don't put E's at the end of her name. Now, if she misspelled her own name, okay, well, my bad. The Washington Examiner put an E. And they're interviewing her because she had the popular video when Oakes did his tour and showed the Holy of Holies. The church never, well, the photo's online. I got my photo and I showed it to you in my video reply of that, or comment of the posting as well. Because I had the dream in the Holy of Holies. And so afterward, I don't know how long after, I decided, well, let's cruise the internet and see if there's a picture of the Holy of Holies, and found it. There's a colored version somewhere buried in my files. But I can only find the black and white one. Nonetheless, the one that was on the website, the church's site, which I guess was Facebook or whatever, that was showing it. That isn't the full, it's just through the door, giving a glance. And that was clearly designed for Mormons to tease them about how Jesus is not real, because you don't see him in there, do you? You've not been following me? You don't know? Don't all Mormons know? There is no Jesus. It's a big fraud. Don't you know? Oh, you don't? And now you had a faith crisis? And you're now leaving the church? Oh, okay. I assumed everybody knows, and I'm the one who's trying to catch up to what everybody knows. So, Boise Rescue. He comes out and says, nobody will see Jesus in the flesh. No personal manifestation. It's only through the Spirit that we experience Jesus. That's what the Christians use for their claim. So how is Mormon different than Christians? Oh, right, the pagan stuff. Temples, Jesus is the brother of Lucifer, Book of Mormon, Mother in heaven, physical bodies, but supernatural at the same time. Pagan. And so they also went beyond, because Jasmine also brought up in her video content, which I had to reply to, because, dear God, it's like nobody knows. I thought everybody knew. The second anointing. So the Washington Examiner is assuming that Jasmine is telling the truth about how Jasmine never knew this kind of stuff, and now the church is coming out with it. They're being transparent. Jasmine is a little girl and doesn't know anything. I just want to scream. So it's Nauvoo. Nope. Polygamy? Nope. Chart. Finally. Proxy wives. Oh my God. Really need to get these organized, and it's just going to be months to get it organized. And so then I won't be doing videos anymore if I'm having to organize my files. Hey Travis, I think you really should organize your files. You should dedicate as much time as it takes to organize your files. Bleep you. When I would do videos of I quit, because what the hell happened in 2020 and 2021? Everything from the Exodus, and then nothing? It just fails? And so I'm like, what the hell's going on? How long do I have to keep waiting for what apparently failed? I didn't know about Oates' leak. Everybody else did. So yeah, I do the videos, and then I come back and do more videos, and then without fail, somebody makes a comment, oh, you couldn't do it, you quit, and you couldn't do it. Or they'll tease me and say, oh, I bet you can't quit, you'll come back, I know it. Bleep you. And so, second anointing. Everybody assumes Joseph Smith started it while he was alive and performed it. Right? Well, there's these things called primary source documents. Not people's journal entries, not people's hearsay. Primary source documents. So, did you know that Joseph Smith had his second anointing on 12th of January, 1846? Primary source document. And of course, everybody knows what's wrong with that, right? Let me help you out. Joseph Smith was sealed to a long list of wives. Sarah Ann Whitney on the 12th of January, 1846. Eliza Maria Partridge, 13th of January, 1846. Louisa Beeman, 14 January, 1846. Emily Dow Partridge, 14 January, 1846. Olive Andrews, 15 January, 1846. Lucy Walker, 15 January, 1846. Sarah Marietta Kingsley, 15 January, 1846. Jane Tibbetts, 17th of January, 1846. Phoebe Watros, 17 January, 1846. Mary Elizabeth Rawlings, 17 January, 1846. Elizabeth Davis, 22nd January, 1846. Lucinda Pendleton, 22nd of January, 1846. Maria Lawrence, 24th of January, 1846. Desdemona Caitlin Wadsworth Fulmer, my third great aunt, 26th of January, 1846. We all knew this in the family. This whole time, our family knew that this was done during this year. Martha McBride, 26th of January, 1846. Sylvia Potter Sessions, 26th of January, 1846. Sarah Lawrence, 26th of January, 1846. Appia Woodman Sandburn, 27th of January, 1846. Cordelia Callista Morley, 27th of January, 1846. Rhoda Richards, 31st of January, 1846. Augusta Adams, no. She was never, sorry. Xena, everybody knows Xena, right? Diantha Huntington, 2nd of February, 1846. So, yep, sure enough, she was married to Joseph Smith, 2nd of February, 1846. Nancy Maria Winchester, 3rd of February, 1846. Eliza Roxy Snow, sure enough, 3rd of February, 1846. Mary Huston, 3rd of February, 1846. Elvira Anna Cowles, 3rd of February, 1846. Ooh, here's another big one. Helen Mar Kimball, 4th of February, 1846. Prescindia Lathrop Huntington, 4th of February, 1846. Mary Ann Frost, 6th of February, 1846. Melissa Lott, 8th February, 1846. Nancy Marinda Johnson, 11th of January, 1846. Figure out what's wrong yet? There's the whole list. It's so true. Figured out what's wrong yet? Give you a hint. It's Saturday. Give you another hint. 27th of June. Do you know the year? Doesn't everybody know this? Am I way behind? No man knows his history for a reason, because they've been covering up and hiding the truth. It's called sealing by proxy. And so all of the second anointings were also 1846. Not during Joseph's lifetime. You've been lied, people. Lied to. So, this is what Jasmine is too young to know. She just believes all of the claims. The Mormon myths. The hearsay that keeps getting spread around, like the 3 Nephite sightings. So, yeah. See, again, the Washington Examiner doesn't fully understand that despite the wall coming down, which they didn't talk about, which I thought everybody knew. Here I am, getting married October 1st, 2016. Or 15. It was 15. Uh-oh. It only lasted 2 years. So I have an excuse. But I thought everybody knew, and there I am. Oh, crap. A born-again Christian peer, Tom Jones, in 8th grade in Corona, California, at the Perpendicular Street. So I was going to Auburn jail. He said that his pastor had been to Salt Lake City and taken photos, which you can now get banned from Temple Square for doing. Sorry, no wedding photos. We don't know who to trust, so nobody gets to do it. Yeah, you didn't see the previous video about Easton. They're going after you, Mormons. I warned you. They're purging the church to see who is ultra faithful to the lie. I warned. You don't listen. You come to one video and you leave. You never come back until YouTube recommends another video. And then you become the second most viewership of those who are casual. People who follow learn from me. And I know there's a lot of stuff, but you know how to find my channel. I have pretty pictures. So yes. So speaking of errors in church history, the Salt Lake Tribune, Peggy, doesn't Peggy know? I thought Peggy knew. She doesn't know. So disappointed, Peggy. You could have asked better questions than what you did. She's interviewing the Rough Stone Rolling guy, the Bushman guy. And his book is crap. Peggy says that he has 3 degrees from Harvard. I don't give a damn. His book is crap. His book isn't true because he has 3 degrees from Harvard. His book stands or falls on the words he put in his book. And he fails. He lies. And one of them is on polygamy, I think, isn't it? And I just showed you how he lied. A historian, 3-time degreed from Harvard, and he couldn't find this primary source document. He relied on hearsay, potentially forged documents. You don't know about forged documents? Again, I thought everybody knew. Especially those here in Utah during the 80s. I didn't know. It wasn't on the news in Southern California. I would have thought the whole world would have gone, a salamander letter? Bombs? Nope. I watch the news every single day. Because right after the news would be a rerun of The Simpsons. So I was faithful on the news. And yet, I guess that wasn't good enough news for outside of Utah. Do you not understand how he forged documents? He fooled the leaders of the church. That's how good he was, apparently. When I was up at the University of Lethbridge in Alberta, Canada, going through the library looking for books on Mormonism, because that was the paper I was going to do for Thomas Robinson's class on religion. I was going to do the origins of church history. I had no idea how much cover-up was going on. Nonetheless, not only found Gerald and Sandra Tanner's Mormonism, Shadow or Reality, but as I was looking through another book, or it could have been theirs, I'm not sure, but I started reading about a salamander letter, and I'm reading over it, and I'm going, no, this is not even his linguistic pattern. This is not weird. This is weird. This is not in harmony with Joseph. And then I come to Utah and then find out later about Mark Hoffman, the forger of documents of church history, and then tried to cover it up with bombing. Got bombed himself, and now he's in prison. I thought everybody knew. So you don't know how to detect a forger unless he gets busted by blowing himself up? Oh yeah, I knew he was a forger. My spiritual witness feelings was telling me he was wrong. And I have to scream because you've twisted definitions. So, Joseph Smith's history, because Bushman's all about how true the first vision is, but with his extra information about it that we don't get told. So it must be true. So after he has the vision, he then begins to repeat vision. Some few days after I had this vision, I took occasion to give him an account of the vision. There are no such things as visions. a fact that I had beheld a vision. He had seen a vision. I had seen a vision. I have actually seen a vision. You getting the point? So if the Methodist preacher doesn't believe it's a personal manifestation, that all personal manifestations ceased with the apostles, how is he talking to Joseph? Is Joseph not real? Or I guess because it's not a personal manifestation. Joseph has a vision, but there can't be any visions. Oh my God. So if I hadn't mentioned this is going to be posted tomorrow, obviously, because you aren't going to see it until tomorrow. Or 3 weeks from now when YouTube finally recommends it to you for some weird reason, because they'd already shut down the video. With about 30 views. Just unbelievable. I get a breakout of 40 views and they knock me back down to 20 to compensate. And so this weekend they've kicked up the freezing of the cameras because it's the weekend. I thought the church was true, Mormons. Why do you attack other people if the church is true? Because this is what Peggy discusses with Bushman. I'm sitting here waiting forever for vision definition. See, Fleetwood Mac talks about crystal vision. And so yeah, I mean, the literal definition is a biological process where your eyes and brain work together to interpret light into sight. Is that what Joseph is talking about? When he goes and tells his mother, I have learned for myself that Christianity isn't true. Presbyterianism, I guess Methodists and Baptists can be true. And so, yeah, they don't show the prophetic vision. So let's do visionary. Yeah. A visionary is a person with keen foresight, original ideas, and the imagination to see what the future could be. And so, foresight, the ability to spot trends, anticipate needs, imagine outcomes that do not yet exist. This is vision. Because Lehi, I am a visionary man. Why would you create another definition in another context that's in canon of Scripture? So it's foresight, predicting the future. Hasn't happened yet. So prophet, just a title, right? All prophecies ceased with apostles, right? Joseph Smith never predicted the future, right? Or ex-fo Pimos claim, yeah, and they didn't come true. Well, who was the source of those prophecies? Well, Joseph was. Are you sure? Where's the original document from where you got it? Oh, there's the one in the Doctrine and Covenants about when Joseph turns 85 years old, the second coming of Jesus would happen. Are you sure it was Joseph? Primary source documents. I can give you another prophecy. It came to pass recently, 10 years ago, but recently. Section 103, verses 15 through 18. Behold, I say unto you, the redemption of Zion must needs come by power. So it hasn't come yet. Joseph Smith is speaking. It's 1831, right? 34. February 24th. Therefore, I will. Do I need to look up the definition of will as a verb rather than the noun? He's given a new will and testament. You do know future tense, right? Doesn't everybody know? Am I finding out for the first time? That means it's a prophecy. Has this come to pass? Let's find out what it is. Raise up unto my people. Who's my people of Joseph Smith? I don't think we should speculate, Travis. Amen. So, could it be a woman? I don't think we should speculate. Am I the only one that knows this information? Because I'm having a hard time believing that Mormons are this stupid. Who shall lead them like as Moses? Who is Moses to the Jews? Somebody like Moses, huh? Deuteronomy 18. It's also in verse 40 of the second vision. It's also in Acts. It's also in the Book of Mormon. 18 verses 15 through 19. The Lord thy God will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren, like unto me, Moses. Why didn't they footnote section 103 to Deuteronomy 18? They put 3rd Nephi 2023, Joseph Smith History 140. And Acts 3:22 and 23. Why not section 103 verse 16? It's the same person, isn't it? It's a hot one. Air conditioning didn't turn on today. Jews. For Jewish tradition and commentators, the prophet like Moses mentioned in Deuteronomy 18:15 is not one specific individual, but rather a continuous lineage of true prophets raised up by God to guide the Jewish people. It's quite actually just one. Prophet is singular, not plural. Oh my God. Jews for Judaism? How did you guys botch this? But the messianic expectation, while mainstream Judaism does not identify this prophet as Jesus or Muhammad, some Jewish traditions have associated the ultimate fulfillment of a Moses-like figure with the coming of the Messiah, Ben David, who will be the ultimate redeemer of Israel. So Rabbi Yeshua. Regular Jews don't know, and you're not referring to a rabbi? Because the rabbi knows. Dear God. So, let me show you how the Jews for Jerusalem botched it bigly. Jeremiah 23. For behold, the days come. Another version of future tense. Saith the Lord, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. So, Jeremiah 23:5. See how the Jews do on this one. Jeremiah 23:5, the Jewish Messiah, Ben David. Yes, according to Jewish eschatology, Jeremiah 23:5 is a fundamental prophecy regarding the Jewish Messiah, who is referred to as Mashiach. Ben David, the Messiah, son of David, descendant. So, let's keep reading. In his day, so it's Jesus, right? Judah shall be saved. Judah was utterly destroyed. So, thus why the Jews don't believe Jesus is the Messiah. What about Muhammad? Well, he chased the Jews out of the Middle East with a slaughter. Not him. And Israel shall dwell safely, and this is his name whereby he shall be called, the Lord, righteous King. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord. It's technically Melchizedek, righteous is Zadok. That they shall no more say, the Lord liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. Who's that? Jeremiah 23:7. Needed to be more specific. The central figure mentioned is the Lord God. Who brought the house of Israel out of Egypt with an exodus. Yahweh. God. Moses. No, Moses is not the one intended. Are you bleeping kidding me? Wikipedia? Oh my bleeping hell. Nope, it wasn't Moses. It was the Lord. Jesus. I just want to scream. Don't even cover it. Oh my God. Yep, the Exodus was not by Moses anymore. Finally, down in the narrative. What the bleeping hell? Dear God. And here's a different parting of the sea. You put Red Sea, not the biblical Hebrew version, which is Sea of Reeds. Dumbass. See, now I gotta find out who's responsible for this dumbassery. Sparks, 2010. Redmount, 2001. Oh my bleeping hell. I thought everybody knew. 10 Commandments. I thought everybody knew. There was even Exodus, Gods and Kings, Christian Bale. I thought everybody knew. I was wrong. Prince of Egypt, cartoon. Thought everybody knew. Go down Moses. Louis Armstrong. I thought everybody knew. Because AI is not intelligent. Somebody had to program that. And that's where my frustration is. It's Moses, people. So the man like Moses. The days come. No more say, the Lord liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. Moses. But the Lord liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country, from all countries whither I have driven them, scattering of the house of Israel, to be gathered. Am I really the only one who finally figured this out? Does the church not teach about the scattering and gathering of the house of Israel? I guess Oaks assumed that you guys knew. Yeah, that's him. Messiah, ben David of the Jews, is the man like Moses. And there he is. And so I can take you to a whole bunch of other scriptures, as I have been. 2 Nephi chapter 3, verse 5. Hey, it's Joseph Smith. Oh, the Messiah is born after Joseph Smith. Huh. I don't see it footnoted to section 103. So, What was the church like in your youth, and how is it different today? Yeah. But he's trying to be faithful to the church. Trying to claim, well, we're a world church now. And so his justification for why they stopped all the activities in the church, which he explains the source origin for it, the Great Depression, not having a bishop's storehouse, people were leaving Utah. And he had some family that left Utah because of the Great Depression. And so after the Great Depression, then they finally figured out, hey, what if we did bishop storehouses? And even then, it was just the one main one. And so what the church did to try to retain people to stay in Utah was to create villages, as he calls them. Network of villages. All up and down the Great Basin. To create a church that was loaded with activities. So that every day involves something to do with the church. And that's why primary with the Relief Society was on Wednesdays, wasn't it? I still remember those days. More so of when my mom was gone. I was at home watching TV. But yeah, and the one special combined priesthood meeting where they wanted to ban TV watching from kids because it's harmful. Just the same old argument that just attacks the Constitution. And Christians just don't give a damn about the Constitution. They want to destroy it, turn everybody Christian, and people don't want to be Christian. And this is exactly what Christianity is doing. YouTube, overrun by Christians. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is the community guidelines of YouTube. YouTube is in violation of the United States Constitution. And yet it's Christians who are attacking the government to ban social media from kids. It's Christians who do cyber terrorism to keep people from certain sites. Not just porn. The Jewish calendar. I often am confronted with Google refusing to show it. Making excuses not to show the Jewish calendar. This just isn't cool. And so anybody who thinks that America is still standing for its 250th has not been paying attention to recent history. We have got so many overthrows of the Constitution. 14th Amendment, Section 1, gone by SCOTUS. The First Amendment, gone by SCOTUS. And I think probably the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, gone by SCOTUS. Amendment, Section 3, gone by SCOTUS. I think even 2, gone by SCOTUS. The one for blacks to vote amendment, gone by SCOTUS. And so what the church did under Nelson was put a stop to all of this. No more activities. And the church came out and claimed it's because we're a worldwide church now. We don't want Utah Mormons to have activities and the world not have activities. Well, can you explain to everybody why Utah has activities? Because you fund them the money based on sacrament attendance to give them an allowance for activities. And so you're not going to do it with the worldwide church? Based on sacrament attendance? Yeah, Bushman is so dense and clueless to explain this to Peggy, who didn't understand it either, apparently. Come on, Peggy, I thought you knew all this stuff. The church was hoarding money at a massive scale, Peggy. You covered it, and you didn't make the connection yet? Come on, Peggy. Do you think something's been lost, though, because a lot of that no longer exists? Yeah, and that's where he explains it's worldwide church now. We couldn't have the United States with one kind of church and then little villages in Congo or wherever in the world that could not do the whole thing. Well, why not? Sacrament attendance gives them the money from the church. And they got to do receipts for what they spend after they spend it first. Then they get reimbursed. I know how this was done. Yeah, I had callings where I had to be a part of that. The younger singles ward, I got delegated away from the girls to be the refreshment coordinator at firesides. And so, yeah, I was supposed to purchase the refreshments, and they were supposed to be healthy because there was complaints. And then after I purchased them, give the receipt to the clerk, and then I would get reimbursed eventually. And I just said, I'll just buy it. So that's what I did. I bought it myself. Grapes, cheeses, vegetables like carrots and celery sticks and stuff with dip. Yeah. I thought it was great. Didn't get any dates out of it. But yeah, I didn't care. And so, yeah, I was released because I was doing it without putting in the receipt, because it was above the budget that was supposed to be used. I can't get any snacks with this, especially healthy snacks. You know, if we're getting junk food, yeah, we can get that with what you're giving me. Was there a time in your life when talk of the second coming really grew more pronounced? Come on, Peggy. Seriously, Peggy? I mean, maybe you're younger than I am, Peggy. And so, yeah. Now they're no longer really talking about it. Nelson kept repeating in conferences, and it failed, and there is no show Jesus now. And so Oaks isn't really bringing it up. The other apostles are talking about hastening the work, but they gave up on in the coming days. Remember, everybody knows about Oaks getting leaked in 2020. I'm late. I found out in November 2024. And so there were certainly times when it was more of a focus of attention. I don't myself connect cataclysmic events in the world, the atomic bomb or Cold War, like that. But when I was growing up, part of our intense interest in the church was speculation. And the second coming was a prime target because it's all over scriptures. And there was a time when we really thought we would be going back to Jackson County, Missouri. Was he not looking at the Joseph Smith papers? I don't think he was involved because Royal Scousen was. But there were other people involved. What is his full name? I didn't get the Rough Stone Rolling? Are you bleeping kidding me? I thought for sure I got Rough Stone Rolling. I got the Joseph Smith Papers picture instead. Oh my God. Okay, I have not purchased this. Richard Lyman Bushman. Lyman, huh? Remember the evidence of the sealings and the second anointings? Lyman, Amasa Lyman. Okay, now we got it. So Richard Lyman Bushman. Yes, was deeply involved with the Joseph Smith Papers project. Apparently there's a meme about him. Everybody knows but me. Hell. During the turbulent meeting, Joseph ordained 5 men to the high priesthood, and Lyman White ordained 18 others, including Joseph. The ordinations to the high priesthood marked a milestone in Mormon eschatology. Ecclesiology. Until that time, the word priesthood, although it appeared in the Book of Mormon, had not been used in Mormon sermonizing or modern revelations. Later accounts applied the term retroactively, but June 1831 conference marked the first appearance in contemporary records. Holy bleeping hell. I just want to scream. I just want to scream. But anyway, so he knows about 19 July 1840. And yet, his priesthood is all over the Bible. I'm trying to claim that he can't find it in the early documents. Do you not remember the little girl who saved the documents, or is that just a vision? So I can understand. Because I think some of these were from the 1838 history put in by Brigham Young. Yeah, 2 and 13 was put in 1876's edition for Brigham Young. Section 20 would be the first. He lied about that. April 1830. The rise of the Church of Christ in these latter days, and priesthood is all over it. Well, one time. Every president of the high priesthood, or presiding elder, bishop, high counselor, high priest, is to be ordained to the high council and general conference. Priesthood, April 1830. From the meeting. 19 July 1840, Joseph Smith expands upon section 101's parable, starting in verse 43, but specifically focuses on the destruction of Utah, verse 51. Again, prophecy of the future. Second coming. And notice that there's a Mormon involved who gathers. God. Because it's all over the scriptures. There was a time when we really thought we would be going back to Jackson County, Missouri. But yeah, Joseph also says in 19 July 1840, many of you think you're going back to Jackson County, Missouri, or not. He refers to Nauvoo. That it's not Nauvoo either, but he says Nauvoo also will be. And so he's referring to the land of Nauvoo, the state of Nauvoo, or Illinois. I should have gone to bed. But I knew that if I went to bed, the stuff that was on my mind would have bugged me and I wouldn't have gotten to sleep. That was sort of a live option. Yeah, my #1 video on this channel. 40,000. Gee, and I get 30 regularly now? I'm sure it's not censorship. That was before I found 19 July 1840 in the Joseph Smith papers. And I was asked to do a video on it. That was a video request. Comment reply. Because she didn't want to walk. 2 years it lasted. Dear God. And before the eclipse that started it all off, God, just right before. See, now looking back, I see the bigger picture. Then, I didn't know. I had to learn line upon line, precept upon precept, just like every Mormon already knew. So far behind in knowledge and intelligence. That was, let's see, Church President Nelson revived the second coming is near. I would, in a way, welcome it. It's good to be thinking about where we stand in our course of history. Avraham Gileadi, he got excommunicated and fired for talking about the Jewish Christ because he tried to harmonize it with Jesus. Church will not allow harmonization. It's all Jesus, no Jews. How do you think the study of Mormonism has changed in the past few decades? Well, we don't study anymore. It's all spiritual witness feelings. Even math now is the spiritual method. Oh my hell, 30,000 lost, and he dares say that there's going to be a record-breaking number of missionaries now? Oh my hell. He tried to cover it up. Using the total number currently with just missionaries, not the elders or the youth. Oh my hell. We became more candid about errors and troubles. You just created new lies. We had to face up to all the facts. No, you just created more lies. As that has happened, secular historians, it is name-calling, bullying of Christianity to say the word secular, have come to respect Mormon historians better. Really? You just wanted respect? See, that's the whole thing. It's not about the words, it's about having respect. And having 3 degrees at Harvard, we gotta respect that. So we got to give validity to whatever he says and never run the by the fruit test. Yeah, well, you got it. But you're still lying. We no longer have enemies of the church. Why are the church leaders trying to have me assassinated? Oaks, can you explain this to Elder Bushman? Brother Bushman? We have polemists online, but the professionals around the country who write about Mormonism are very respectful. Yeah, ad populum argument. In case you don't know, because I thought everybody knew. It's a fallacy, falsehood. There is no effort to cut us down or to undermine our faith in any way. Because you're censoring me. It's really a very amiable era in church history. You forget about the government, SEC, fining you $5 million for your criminal operation on the stock market? The exposure by the whistleblower for the criminal operation that you're doing? The leak that you're the cause of Armageddon? Thought everybody knew. The inverted pentagram of Lucifer on the keystone of the doors of the Salt Lake Temple with a wall down now. I thought everybody knew. At the heart of that is that we have learned to face up to our facts and to be very candid. You just lied again. You cover up the lies with more lies. How has the missionary program changed? It is a little weak on church history. Yeah. So he says, as long as we focus on Christ, who cares? That's it. Oh, God. There are too many people getting popular by spreading the lies. And so, yeah, lots of new people get onto YouTube thinking they're going to be the new hotness by repeating all the lies that have made other people popular. He talks about the gold plates that he exposed, the rough stone rolling. That's about the Jewish atonement. And he has no clue. He thinks that Joseph Smith history is a vision, or is literal history and not a vision. And yet everybody gives him credit. He had 3 degrees at Harvard. He must know what he's talking about. He's exposing things that the church hadn't told us, and so therefore it must be true. Just like Mormons who spread the myths. Yeah, I saw the 3 Nephites when I was in Texas. My mission in the Philippines, we saw people rise from the dead. I gave a Book of Mormon to the Rolling Stone guy, Mick Jagger. Marilyn Manson gave him a Book of Mormon. And I can't believe the pathetic news coverage locally about the missionary who returns and gives that one guy who used to do thrash and is now doing country. I don't know his name. I'm not familiar with any of his stuff because there's no more radio. Streaming internet killed the radio star. You just say computer killed the radio star, but I had a computer and was still listening to the Radio from Hell show with Carrie, Bill, and Gina. KXRK, Provo, Ogden, Salt Lake City. And then I had to go to K-Bear for mandatory Metallica. What is this alternative music? I don't recognize any of this. What is this? Yeah. Spending much of my 90s in Canada took me away from American culture. Because Canadian culture, the news is hockey, first and foremost. Then the weather, for an extended period of time. Then the Queen, now the king. And then, local stuff like child sex trafficking, murders, not important stuff. Government corruption. Canada has their priorities, eh? I don't even have a picture of Bushman. I'm way out of it.